And the world spins, he says, but I'm still here. I'm still here. We are still here. Yes.
Here
The
we
world
are.
is spinning. The world is falling apart. There's a sort of something spreading all over its surface and wiping things out. But we are still here. We're virtual, of course, which does help a little bit, sort of. I am Mal Burns. That's Mal. And then Burns, my second name. But to find me on Twitter, you're going to have to squash me. Yes, you have to go to twitter.com/Malburns, or one word, Malburns. And equally squashed is another Twitter feed that goes with this show, which is twitter.com/Metaworld News, or one word, if you catch my drift. So that's Twitter for you. But the reason I mention it is that I'm going to be mentioning a few highlights. Highlights indeed for the week ending today, which is the 19th of some month or other. Yeah, yeah, I got
July
one bit
works,
right.
right? Right.
Yeah, July works. Okay, 19th of July 2020. These days it is getting confusing. I don't know what
Yeah.
day it is, let alone what week it is or month it is. Or yeah, I know. At least I know it's not winter. But
Oh, true.
but it's not in the northern hemisphere. It's not. Right. Okay. So yeah. Highlights of Metaworld News for the week ending 19th of July 2020. And as I said, if you don't catch the links as I mention them, you can go to Twitter. Twitter.com/Malburns is the main one. And you can find the links, direct links that you can click on there. Plus, actually, quite a lot of other links too, because obviously you don't have time to load them all and read them all out to you on this show. So it really is a question of highlights these days. Um, okay, just a word of clarity. The Metaworld News account, um, the links you'll find there are to do with social virtual worlds, the whole range of them, not just OpenSim and the Hypergrid, but anything that qualifies as a social world online, be it in VR or be it on flat desktop or hopefully even both. The stuff you'll find on my Mal Burns feed is a much more overview of the general news, sort of new hardware, haptic inputs, what's sort of happening where in the very general world of VR and immersive technology. So just to clear up the difference there, and I'm starting, of course, with the Mal Burns feed, and I'm going to the first thing I'm putting up on screen now. Well, it's already there actually, but I don't know where
Now
James can now
you're
put it.
talking about it, so that's
Yeah, so James can now put it up too, is what I was about to say.
yeah.
Maybe he had already, so I don't know.
No, no.
Right.
I wait for my cue.
Uh, very good, very good. Well, this, as usual, is from scaredghost.com. That's SKARREDGHOST.com. And they always start the week on Monday, and it was Monday this week, with the XR Week Peak, which is one. Well, it's not like this show; it's not video for one thing, but it's basically a roundup of the week's important news from the week before this was published. So really, it's not this last week; it's the week before. But as you can see, Sony investing in Epic, Rockstar working on a AAA VR game, and more. Yeah, they talked about Sony, Rockstar Games. Um, uh, Post about Valve there. The Ready to Player 2 book is coming, a sequel, which this is all stuff we did last week. Linden Research to be acquired, new CEO for Magic Leap, and a whole lot more down there, actually. It's mostly stuff we would have covered last week, but there is stuff that doesn't fall within my briefs. So it's quite a good place to go to each Monday to check out the week's links and indeed last week's links in this case. In case you missed anything, this is if you are a news addict like me. Right, okay, so having got there, oops. Ah, okay, I forget we're in the right, we're at the beginning of the week there, of course. And we're working from the beginning through to up to date this week, so there you go. But the way that everything is arranged. Okay,
Chronological
next
order.
Yes. Next link here is a site called checkersaga.com. So CHECKERSAGA.com. And this is all about Cinera Edge, which is a personal cinema with a 1,200-inch screen and 5K resolution. Um, it's obviously got headphones attached with this one. It is designed to be the whole cinema for you. Um, the form factor for the screen and the glasses, so to speak, is rather nifty there. It's not at all big, and a 1,200-inch screen. That's really an illusion. Well, not an illusion, but the idea is the equivalent of looking at a 1,200-inch screen from, I suppose, a few feet away. 5K resolution is definitely pretty hot stuff. It's better than any meter. I mean, 4K is really the height of anything available at the moment. So 5K is just overdoing it a bit for the time being. Um, so instead of getting a giant 80-inch TV, well, TV with a screen of 80 inches, then they're suggesting you go and get this. They don't, yeah, this is interesting. It seems crazy, but they're talking about this glasses focused on cinema and series. Its creators have been very careful not to use these two words, brackets, virtual reality, even once when they were in a Kickstarter campaign. Perhaps this is because they do not want to be associated with the disastrous experiences such as Google Cardboard, Daydream, and ultimately all virtual reality for mobiles, which has done so much damage to the medium. So yeah, they are distancing themselves from the amateurs, so to speak. Even Google is considered an amateur there. Um, okay, so it's a fair old little review there. Um, two panel, 5K resolution with a small trap, eh? There are two panels, one for each eye. Each one has a resolution of 2560 by 1440. Um, okay, I'm trying to think. That probably is approaching 4K. I'm not sure. Um, anyway, full review, all the information you want there. Um, I don't know whether that includes the price. Oh yeah. I'd have to calculate this. The price is in euros, which we don't use in Britain. Well, we never have done really anyway, but and you don't use in America either. So it's 400 euros, and there's going to be a pro version, which will be 489 euros, which isn't particularly different, is it? Anyway, read more about that at checkersaga.com. And yeah, there's a nice. Oh, it's my zoomy picture thing doing that. Okay, fair enough. Right. So moving on to the next piece. This is www. Pardon me, vice.com, vice.com. And the question they are asking and was asking on the 13th of July is, are virtual events even fun? I joined Five to find out for myself. This is Miriam Miano, who's joined Five, right? Um, I don't know whether there is a Petville. I'm not sure what that has to do with the five virtual worlds she went to. But never mind, never mind. It was originally published in Vice Asia. Um, let's see. Supernatural Murder Mystery. A virtual DJ party, online art exhibitions. She's gone into a poetry seminar, and Star Wars virtual run. So she's actually covered quite a bit of variety there, sort of, and written quite a lot of words for somebody who I basically consider to be probably quite new to it and finding out. So find that at vice.com, vice.com, published on 13th, which would have been, I think, Monday or Tuesday, early in the week anyway. So moving on. Still early in the week here, July 13th again. Um, okay, the title here is Owned Market Reports and Analytics, but the actual link you need for this, which is nowhere to be shown on the page actually, it's primefeed.in. So PRIMEFEED.IN. And again, July 13th news. Um, Very much a market report, but reports are useful now and again. Augmented reality and virtual reality apps market is likely to experience tremendous growth in the near future. A lot of people are saying this. It's sort of speculative, I think, when you read these reports. I mean, many people are saying, oh, because of working at home and COVID and everybody reorientating their entertainment to in their own home kind of thing, then these things are bound to explode in the near future. But the other argument, of course, is which ones? Is it going to be screen based, or is it headset based, or is it for entertainment, for work, or what, really? They're basically speculating that augmented reality and virtual reality apps in general are going to get tremendous growth. I suspect they will, but sort of if you put the COVID impact aside, then a lot of these reports that are coming out probably are overdoing it. I think their information is relying on the enduring threat of COVID and the need for people to be staying uh, reasonably isolated, should I say. Except here in Britain, where the government has told everybody to go out and get it again, and we've had about 3 nights of riots and street parties and
Go out and
everything
get it
else.
again.
Yeah, police basically at war with all the
Right, right.
kids. There's a generation gap. Sort of. I hope I die before I get old has been renewed for that.
Ah, right.
Well, not.
Well, that's
Well, but much adultery doesn't count anymore. But for a new
definitely
generation.
achievable. Right, that's well within our grasp now.
Yes, exactly. I don't know if it's aspirational, but it's
Yeah.
possibly achievable indeed. Anyway, yeah. Well, actually, I can no longer say that because I'm already old. Can't turn back
Darn
the
it.
clock
Darn it.
and die before.
How'd that
I can't go
happen?
back. If I can't turn back the clock, how can I die before I get old? Because I'm already old.
It's too late. Yep.
It's a conundrum, is what it is.
A paradox.
Yes. Uh, yeah. Well, conundrum for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Enough of that. Enough of that. That's called the rabbit hole department, and as regular viewers will know, I'm doing my best to stay out of that. Well, I try. Okay, so primefeed.in is where you have that little report, summary, all the information, cute little maps of the world, different colors. Gosh golly. And yeah, you can get a full report. This is quite long, the analysis actually, but you can get the full report for a special discount via this site as well. Apparently, if you really want, 5,000 pages of market rabbiting. Right, let's put that away. And okay, this is a www, whether you need it or not, I don't know, musictech.net. So that's musictech.net. And this is about an e-space platform called Yoop. I guess this sort of qualifies as a social virtual world. Um, but it is to do with music events, essentially. They're helping creators reach out to their fans directly with visual and audio interaction, um, streaming performances, and all the rest. Um, as you can see, it's very hard to see really, and you just have to go here and follow the link through to the UPAP to find out more about it. But judging by that sort of picture, it seems to be very much a virtual environment, although they've got nothing in it there. But if you probably can't see on our relay, but the detail of that picture makes it, I'm pretty sure it means it's a virtual environment. Um, but they want to develop venues in a lot of real world locations as well as they've got one in the UK and they want to do more in the UK. Um, Each space is designed for the platform's interactive live experiences so creators can easily create and distribute interactive virtual content. Camera angles, sound setup, and other logistic details are designed to provide an unparalleled level of production quality for online and interactive live entertainment. So I assume that the general idea is that they hope they can put, say, a band into one of these spaces in real life, presumably with plastic sheets between the band members or whatever they need to do for distancing, and then use advanced, 360 filming and virtual stuff to actually render that into a live stream that will live stream the action in a virtual environment to those watching it in a Yoop space. Yes, a Yoop e-space. I wonder if they're trying to go after. I must admit, I tried e-spaces once. I wasn't able to get the domain name, but I thought you got email and you got Edis, and I for a while I had well, I didn't have the trademark on it, a thing called ETV, which was before YouTube, and I thought I was going to be able to get it, but somebody was stopping me. Um, but these people, they've chosen e-space as a sort of descriptor for online social spaces, and interesting. I don't know whether that is a common. It's not a phrase I've actually come across very often, but it's probably quite a good generic description of, because we're so used to calling the metaverse after Neil Stevenson and everything else like that. But immersive online spaces. I mean, what? Why not? E-space. Anyway, I digress again. Rabbit hole here, I
I
better
feel
not
like I
jump.
tried something similar on the Oculus Quest called VARK, VARK, which was kind of a music
Sounds familiar.
performance space for people. But it actually recorded the VR concerts, and
Uh-huh.
you could wander around the avatars, recorded avatar movements as you were watching the performance.
I actually got a point here. I don't know. I mean, I know Paul McCartney did one that was very well a couple of years ago. That was very well publicised, where it was basically a 360 video, but you could move within it, so you could choose whether to stand behind McCartney at the piano or
Yeah,
stand
yeah,
in front of him. So but the actual filming was live action, so it was merging the virtual space with the live action. So yes, I mean technically none of this is particularly new. I think it's down to how well it's done. I mean, looking at what happened here in Sansar a few weeks ago with the
hmm
Glastonbury thing, it was
yeah.
extraordinarily well done. And well, I've been busy trying to find out who the actual real organisers were behind it. I only tracked down one, and I better mention those names because
Mm,
they're an MBE. They're a member. They've been like it's a Queen's Honours, and they're
mm.
an MBV of about 40 years standing for services to the music industry. So it's
Wow.
serious stuff going on there behind getting that organised.
Sure.
Um, yes, he's got an MBE for services to music festivals. He's been doing it for about 40 years, not virtually, of course. Anyway, that aside, yeah, I mean, that was a good example of putting out all the stops to do things. But again, they stuck to video as a component of a virtual world, and some stuff was in the virtual world, some stuff was on video, and they endeavored to make it as seamless as possible, and they succeeded. I think, even though if you went close up you realized that you were actually looking at a projection instead of something in the 3D environment. um, there's still work to be done to make that stuff utterly transparent. Imagine being in an audience and being a I don't know, being a 13-year-old girl, and your dream musician is on stage, and you jump up on stage and run up to him and hug him when he's
Mm-hmm.
live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When that kind of stuff can happen, early Beatles, early Stones, when that stuff can happen, you can know the virtual's real, won't you?
Right, right.
Anyway, I actually something happened here. Sorry, no, it was over in Tivoli, which is one of the offshoots of Rosedale's original High Fidelity. Um, um, where in fact I was there last night, where Caitlin got my actual avatar from OpenSim, High Fidelity, and Sciencebase up. So I'm in a fourth place now, properly. Can't get it up here, but I was on there the other day too, and Chaos, her name is, German lady. I always seem to end up chatting for hours with her. When we finished talking, she was in VR, but I was on flat screen. But she came over in VR and hugged me as I was about to log out. And I swear I felt it.
Hmm.
Even though I was only watching a 2D screen, and even in a headset, I don't know whether I presume some VR kit would actually have the haptic component to feel the touch, but I was just emotionally sort of I could have sworn, it wasn't just a gesture on screen, if you see what I mean. It sort of certainly felt it. It's sort of so anyway. Besides, it's all about empathy and
Right, right, right,
all the rest of it, isn't it?
right.
So let's dispose of Yoop. Yoop, Yoop, Youpie.
Yippee.
Sorry, yeah. Right. Believe it or not, about 2 hours ago, before I was getting on, I decided to plug my old Leap Motion into my
Oh,
machine here to see
okay.
if Sansar recognised it, but it doesn't. However, prompting me, of course, was a post from Leap Motion, of course, or Ultraleap as they're known as now. They've released an OpenXR integration, which basically is sort of code type stuff. Um, Ultraleap is the hand tracking technology that they've built into Leap Motion, and in its various forms, be it a Leap Motion device like this one I've got on a USB here, but some Leap Motions are actually, gosh, I've just touched it, it's getting hot. Oh well. Um, actually, I'm not sure about that.
All
Maybe if it
right,
doesn't
huh?
work, I'll unplug it again. Um, but basically, Leap Motion does detect your hands, So I thought if it worked here like it does in High Fidelity, I will be able to flap my hands as well as moving my lips. And that means that I can show you if I'm excited about something I'm talking about, or if you don't see my hands flapping up and down in the air, you'll notice I'm bored shitless. So that kind of thing. But it doesn't work here. It doesn't work here. It does work in um, High Fidelity and a few others. But anyway, you do find headsets that have it built in. There are even various computers that have it built in, as well as webcams. And it can also work with your webcam. So the sensors in the Leap Motion part of things also use your webcam to synchronize their facilities, so to speak. So it's constantly checking whether what it sees in your webcam is the same as what it's sensing through your body movement. So it uses both of them to kind of synchronize each other, basically. Um, Anyway, they have an industry-wide standard for both VR and AR, and OpenXR will allow developers to build software that spans a variety of hardware and software platforms. An important step that makes it significantly easier for AR VR content to be brought to all platforms equally. So there you go. Get a little schematic. That's actually the Leap Motion device that looks a bit like the one I've got, except mine doesn't come apart like that. Probably a good job too. and yeah, and then they go into see there. This is all I need to do, and nothing happens. I'm trying it now, but it will. If you set it up right, you can use it to control your desktop, and it's if you're in the right game, the game can support it very much the same way that it supports, say, a joystick or whatever. So anyway, they've released an OpenXR integration to advance the cause, so to speak. And you'll find that at ultraleap.com, www.ultraleap.com, ultraleap.com. Moving on. And we're now at the Straits Times. The Straits Times. Nothing to do with Dire Straits. I think it's a place, isn't it? Straight. Never mind. Anyway, www. Dot blot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
blot if you want one.
Sure.
STRAITSTIMES.com, straightstimes.com. And yeah, sort of, oh, Singapore. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, I don't know. Right. Wherever they are, they say it's time for virtual reality and augmented reality to shine. Yes. Yeah. So if you've got the right lighting, virtual reality can shine. Just look at the lovely curtain behind me here. It's
Uh,
sort of, it's not twinkling, but it's reflecting.
it does
And it
reflect.
feels it feels like it's shining, and if we twiddle knobs, which we can't on live,
No.
we can make it different color and different shiny. But anyway,
Right.
so yes, virtual reality can shine, but apparently so can augmented reality. Yes, July the 7th is this post, so it's a bit late, isn't it? I don't know how it got here. Um, Talking about Zoom, the breakout app, by curtailed face-to-face meetings, but tech firms are already looking beyond video conferencing, and their solution for a socially distant world is collaboration tools that use virtual reality and augmented reality, and so on and so forth. Now, we know all this, and most of you watching this will know this already, but if you like to reaffirm your own belief, what a great little place to go and read all about it. Ah, I knew that already, you can say. Look, they're covering an awful lot here,
Mm-hmm.
including the challenges. So it's not a throwaway article. It's actually probably worth going and having a look at, seeing, which platforms they've chosen there. Um, SFX Corporation Virtual Collaboration System. I don't know what that is. It might be, it might be on top of another platform or something. There's so many now, it's hard to know. Anyway, as I say, find this at straightstimes.com, and you've got to go back to July the 7th for this one. I don't know why it was posted this week. It might have been somebody reposting it um, from somewhere, and I followed it. Okay, away you go, Straits Times, and we're back to a familiar site here, www.vrfocus.com. So that's vrfocus.com. And we're on Virtual Leap again. Yes, train your brain with Virtual Leap's enhanced VR. Plenty of virtual reality examples when it keeps keeping physically healthy, but far fewer when dealing with cognitive abilities. Today, Virtual Leap has launched its brain training app, Enhanced VR, to help those wishing to stay. I thought you said mentally ill, mentally fit.
Uh,
Right, sorry, you got that right. Um, I'm not sure that this is the same Virtual Leap as Virtual Leap. Um, uh, that'd be a bit awkward if two. Because Leap Motion used to be just Leap Motion before they became Virtual Leap. They may be related, they may not be. I'm
Magic
finding it a bit
Leap, aren't
hard.
they?
No, no, Magic Leap. I'm talking about the Leap Motion thing.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Thing here, not Magic Leap, the big whatever. Um, yeah, okay. Well, anyway, all this is about cognitive stuff and brain interfacing. Train your brain with enhanced VR. And yeah, this is clearly unrelated to Leap Motion, but um, uh, go and check it out anyway, I think, especially if you're interested in advanced haptics in a headset, I imagine. July 17th was the date of that, written by Peter Graham, as a familiar name, I think. So vrfocus.com is what you want for that one. All right. On the education front, this is a post at VR Scout. That's vrscout.com. An educational VR app called History Maker. This sounds rather fun, actually, although maybe it's more of a game than. Well, no, it's borderline here. It has students performing as famous figures from US history. So it sort of takes the idea of theatre, I suppose, to reenact history, and has the students in virtual form reenacting, parts. Um, which I don't know. Select a character, customize your stage, and deliver an impactful speech taken straight from the history books. Um, Sounds like, well, it does sound like a good educational tool, to be honest, for the history departments and nothing else. I can see it working with literary departments too, not just costume dramas for well, what TV calls costume drama, period dramas. Well, that's the word, isn't it? Not just period dramas, but contemporary too. But I can see it, as a prototype. History is an obvious candidate for doing this. Um, no better way to learn than put yourself in their shoes. History Maker VR takes this saying to heart, allowing students to play the role of a famous figure in United States history, this is, and perform a historic monologue from a fully customizable set. And they don't say whether it's filmable, but I imagine it would be, so that'd be even more fun. You make machinima, or well, you could make record things this way. And at the moment, they've got sorry, Abigail Adams. I'm not sure who they are, but I know Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Harriet Tubman, Mark Twain, Sonia Sotomayor, and Teku. I don't obviously. If you're in America, you probably know exactly who those the three I don't know are. But there again, over in the UK here, we learn one thing, and different countries teach different things, and it all purports to be history and the truth, which it very rarely is. Apparently, after enough time's gone by, you don't know whether it's truth or fiction, really. Anyway, that launches on August the 13th, and it'll be available on Steam VR for $9.99, which is a polite way of saying $10 USA. Right, moving on, moving on. Okay, this is AR Post. We come here fairly often these days. It's a curious site. It has some rather dodgy stuff in it as well as serious stuff. Arpost.co. So it's arpost.co. And this is posted July 14th, this one. XR companies, i.e., virtual reality type companies and things, working overtime from home. And it didn't say it's in the title, it's in the subtitle here. They're just looking at 7 XR companies helping the world to combat COVID 19. Um, so that's why they're working overtime. And it follows a generic pattern here, really. Like headset manufacturers, you've got the different ones, software solutions, looking at a few different ones. And well, as you can see, as you scroll down the page here, there's a fair old lot of stuff that is actually covered there. Basically, focusing on VR and XR companies that are um, working overtime to combat COVID or the no, I don't think that any of them are going to come up with a cure. Basically, they're combating it and providing an alternative to reality for work and play. What we're all about, really. Okay, moving on. We're now on VR Focus again. So this is vrfocus.com. Another one by Peter Graham. This, if I'm not, this may be one that's happening just about after this show on today, which is of course a Sunday. This is posted July 17th. A VR fashion show, The Fabric of Reality, steps onto the catwalk this month. And while I'm here, let me poke on here. Avatar Fashion Show, 28 o'clock. I'm not quite sure where that is. Let me see. Um, Sorry, you can't see me here. I've just loaded it into my diary because no, I think that's another fashion show. We'll find it. Won't bother with that. Anyway, The Fabric of Reality. That's a nice title, actually, and logo for that matter. A virtual fashion show. Uh, uh, digital events getting more exciting with Sansar's Lost Horizon, Canon's XR Virtual, and Museum of the Other Realities, which is where the Can thing was held. Um, yeah, Can the Museum of Other Realities. That's right. They're going to be hosting a fashion exhibition called The Fabric of Reality. Um, okay, well they tell you all about what's being prepared. It'd be July 29th is the launch date, and that's at 6:30 in the evening British time. And you need to get the Museum of Other Realities app, which you can download from Steam, Viveport, or Oculus stores. Um, I've got a feeling that it's probably not suitable for 2D screens, but anyway, find out more about that at vrfocus.com. Moving on again. Verbella came into the news quite a lot recently because it was used to host major education conference and went down very well. Very simplistic world. I mean, you get a world, you get an avatar. It's got legs, but more than that, I can't really say. Very simple, but you can move around quickly from building to building. You can teleport from building to building easily. You can find out what's on and where. And yeah, um, very functional. And I think particularly as a result of the education conference, it's got accelerated growth as a go-to platform for virtual events. I can actually understand this. Oh, my monitor's gone to sleep. Come on, wake up, monitor. Monitor? There you are. Right, sorry. I'd lost myself there. Right, given the education conference, I can quite see why this is getting growth, and it's not. I don't like it personally because I'm used to very immersive, rich social spaces or education spaces, anything else really. And this is the exact opposite. It's down to being very simple. But it is very functional for somebody who's never even experienced the idea of a virtual world or something. They're not going to get that, fully immersive, graphically rich environment. But they are going to find something that's fairly useful in the sense that they can log in very quickly. I think there's available on the web too. They use their arrow keys to walk around or just press pull down menus as you would in a 2D application to teleport to where you want to go. So, and obviously you've got to turn on your audio and stuff like that. But, it's a thing for the PowerPoint generation that is far better than PowerPoint, put it that way. So anyway, this article is at expoworldholdings.com. So it's expoworldholdings.com. So that's Expo World Holdings. So three words as one really. And yeah, they're basically looking at Vibella's platform, not only ILRM, which was the education one I was talking about, then Lava Virtual as a metaverse one, and then Bordeaux Geek Fest. Don't know where that was back in June apparently. So rounding up of stuff that was going on there. Again, find all these links. You can click on them directly by going to my feed at twitter.com/malburns, MALBURNS, and that's if you're a native goodie with the long Earls that I was reading out there. Makes life easy to go to my Twitter, doesn't it? Okay, back to AR Post again. Second one this week from them. ARPOST.co. And apparently AIXR, four letters there, they partnered with VR Chat to bring the fourth annual VR Awards online. VRXR is the VR Awards. Basically, they recognize organizations, individuals, and experiences. And winners have included Oculus Rift and Quest, Tilt Brush 5 Pro, and Vader Immortal series. Obviously, like everything else, they are happy to go online this year, and they have chosen VR Chat to be the place to do it. Which makes a change from Altspace, doesn't it? Who seem to be monopolizing everything at the moment. Um, yeah. So to read more about this, there's not much else I can say. This will be in. I wonder if it's probably got the date here somewhere. It's not. It's not this week. I know that. Oh, I can't see any mention of the date here. It's got a link for tickets, so presumably if you go to try and get a ticket, you'll find out when it's happening. Oh no, oh, there we are. It's right at the top. November the 12th. Right, I told you it wasn't this week. Go to arpost.co to get more about that one. And right, CCXP. Gosh, we're we're on the letters today, aren't they? This is also going into the virtual world for 2020. CCXP World's a Journey of Hope. Um, CCXP has consolidated itself last year, at least, as the largest pop culture event on the planet, with 280,000 visitors in 4 days, and etc. So they're now going to go and attempt to do all that online too. Um, the place I've got this link is another one you may want to go to Twitter to get a link through, but it's www dot fan that racks. No, never mind. I can spell it for you anyway. FANTHATRACKS. So it could be sort of fan that tracks, or it could be fan that racks, and I don't know. But you got the spelling anyway if you can remember it. Otherwise, just go and check my feed. Um, Fairly short article actually, but kind of announcing it and um, saying you where you can sort of go for more about it. Um, this one I think is I don't think it's as far as yeah, unlike November, this will be the beginning of December will be the first virtual edition. So as you can see, these events are really beginning to push themselves now way ahead. They've obviously given up on the hope of being able to do them in the real world even by the end of the year. So more and more people scheduling stuff that will be ultimately online and, as they say, virtual. Right. Now, a favourite old site here. There haven't been many posts so much recently from this site, but roadtovr.com here. So it's roadtovr.com. And this is talking about a platform that's been around for quite a while. It's a social virtual world, really. Social VR platform, VTime gets preliminary video support in a new theatre update. And there you have the avatars in the theatre. Fully fleshed out avatars, fortunately, here. It seems they're launching by offering sports programming. So it's almost like being given a TV station in a virtual world. And um, sort of I don't know whether people will go to a platform just for that, although big screen is quite popular on headsets simply because it brings the screen of something you may watch already right in front of you. Whether this will do the same thing, or I know from Second Life and places like that, there are people who will go in to the virtual world to watch something with their friends so that they can natter about it while they're watching it. But generally speaking, I mean, there are some things that, quite frankly, are better on, good old-fashioned TV with a decent surround system. But there you go, there you go. Um, Also, of course, many of these TV things, even Netflix now, allow you to log in with your account to watch something and then share it in real time with a friend at a different address. Yeah, I don't know. In the case of Netflix, I imagine you both need to be subscribers, or I'm not quite sure, but more and more people or services are opening up for that sort of sharing media kind of approach. Um, well, Manchester City Football Club, eh? Actually, there have been a couple of matches from them. This is over in Britain here recently. They were behind closed doors, and apparently there was one of the, I think it was Manchester. Somebody rigged it up so that people, the obviously they weren't fully social distance on the match, but there was no live audience. But somebody rigged it up so that people could like log in and cheer, and the combined cheers went up into the into the football stadium, so that the footballers could hear hundreds of people cheering at them. But it's not the same. not the same as being there. Not that you'd ever catch me going to one of those things anyway. Yeah, a few little yeah. Oh yeah, video there. Theatreland in V-Time at the sports bar. Anyway, this is road2vr.com for that one. God, I'm getting through them fast enough today. Right, this is educatorsinvr.com. educatorsinvr.com. And this is useful, I think, because you don't see enough sensible things like this. This is literally a guide to how to clean your VR headset. This is Lorelei Van Vossen. She was a keynote speaker at the Virtual World's Best Practices a few months back. Um, and they have Discord and Facebook channels too. But anyway, this is quite simply a guide to how to actually clean the thing, because even if only you're the only one that uses it, you get germs, and these things are not particularly healthy, especially if you've taken them on and off all the while. And she's got a research paper called Serious VR on VR hygiene and safety, everything you need to know, and extracted a whole load of facts and information here, as you can see. Quite a lot of it included here. All the basics basically are included in the blog here, and including kind of substances you can use for cleaning and what you shouldn't use on what bit. um, hand controllers need to be cleaned with the same solutions you use for plastic, and just sensible stuff. I forget where they are. When I actually read this, I noticed they'd actually got quite a lot of warnings in there about don't use this in a headset. Chemicals can strip off face pads and all sorts of things if you're not careful. So, just a useful post there from July 17th. And as I say, the site you want for this is educatorsinvr.com. educatorsinvr.com. I think I gave you that one twice, but never mind.
Hmm.
So, to the last post. The last post. I haven't got a soundtrack to go with this. And it's only the last of this section, so don't get too excited.
Oh.
Uh, a day in the metaverse. This is a post of Forbes, www.forbes.com, Forbes.com. And this literally was posted this morning, or earlier today in my time. Kathy Hackey, she's a tech futurist focused on transformative aspects of AR, VR, and AI. And she's just done this sort of speculative piece of, a day in the life, but featuring the metaverse. And I say speculative because I think she's sort of saying that it's going to be more like this rather than actually an account of one day she spent in there. It's more of a sort of looking forward, to what days are going to be like in the future, imagining your day with AR glasses and stuff like that. So quite extensively. Well, there's a lot of this. It's a good read, right? It's a long read, though. I warn you. Well, long by comparison with two-line blogs. Right. So yeah, that was published at Forbes today. Yeah, today, July 19th, 2020. So there you go. I'm going to leave that one open for a minute. Now, I did say we have another Twitter feed. All that stuff you've seen is twitter.com/malburns for the links. Quite a lot more stuff up there too this week that I didn't bother loading here because it just needlessly extends this show to have about 500 articles, some of which are very just anecdotal. Um, but we have the other feed, Metaworld News, and I'm going to load these as we go here. Um, VTime have a post. It's actually about something we already just covered, but this is a kind of this is VTime's XR Theatre. This is quite literally how to use VTime's XR theatres. This is vtime.net/news, vtime.net/news. And if what we said earlier got you excited, then this is exactly the instructions as to how to actually go about using it. And heavily illustrated with virtually the same picture could
Mm.
be proud of, but never
Mm-hmm.
mind. Okay, so we got that one. Avatar fashion show. Um, right, this I think is the one that is happening about now. Yeah, Sunday, July 9th. Starts at 8 p.m. British summer, 8 to 9 UK time. So I'm not sure where we are. That is literally starts in 5 minutes. Um, if you're around. It's in Altspace VR, and well, this it ties in with uh, okay. Well, I'll just use this one. I think I may have another link. Yeah, I've got another link further down. Summer brings new changes. Get ready for Altspace VR. Biggest update of the year. New avatars. So the big news from Altspace VR this week is that they've launched new avatars. Now, my personal feeling is that they are kind of a bit more yucky than the original avatars. But they do have
Hmm.
full bodies. But they do
Right.
have
Right.
full bodies. You know, they got full bodies, albeit cartoony, instead of slightly better looking avatars with pieces missing. No good way of describing this at all. Anyway, this fashion show is tied in with, I think, showing off these kind of new avatars. And I'm going to jump down the page here. Um, Here we are, virtualitytimes.com is this link. Again, I've posted the link at twitter.com/metaworld news. Um, oh, brilliant. It always does this. It takes you to the front page instead of the article. Here we are. Here we are. This is the one. Okay. So here we are. Um, get ready for styling, summer update, and the new avatar journey. Um, is this. Right, these are the avatars, basically. These are the new avatars, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're very definitely these are new avatars, and
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
updated mine this week and it was
Oh, you
fine.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Do
fine.
you? What? How do you think? Do better or worse?
Well, better just because they're a little more recognizable as people, but
Right.
not a
Okay.
huge change.
Okay.
I didn't see any mouth movement in mine, and so can the avatars bring any more expression than the spheres and triangles of before? I don't
Yeah.
think they can. I don't know. I didn't test
Uh,
that.
okay. I'm getting. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, they're probably as good as Vibella, you know, but probably trying to do a lot more than the simplicity of Vibella. I mean, Allspace VR posts events every day. I mean, they
Hmm.
are very busy. Well, I'm perceiving they're busy. I don't go to many of them. Um, but you know, if they're trying to pitch themselves as a real go-to social virtual space, I think they can. You know, they really ought to start, as you say, lip movement, more realistic avatars, whole bodies, and um, Fibella, even Fibella has full cartoony avatars. I mean, it's just, if you want to go simple and lowest common denominator, do it because people will thank you for it. But if you want to go high end, do that too because that's what other people want. Allspace VR just sort of falls flat in the middle, if you ask me. But on the other hand, they are very busy. I mean, I think that yeah, this is the one that's owned by Microsoft, so
Right.
they're probably getting a lot of Microsoft money pumped into them to endlessly promote themselves.
Yeah, and hard to
Regard.
tell. Who knows where Microsoft mixed reality is at this point? It's it doesn't seem like Microsoft is that excited about it. It's just hard to tell.
It's odd. I keep hearing about there's the Hololens and the
Right.
Hololens
Right.
Pro that's coming and things like that. But you're right. It's all a bit. I remember when they launched Kinect for Xbox, wasn't it? Oh, years ago now, and that was quite big with Xbox. But somebody rigged it so it worked with a PC, and without any involvement from Microsoft, it suddenly became a big thing to get as
Hmm.
an interactive PC controller.
Right.
And it was very sort of big for a while. I guess it sort of phased out because it was really just a couple of cameras acting as sensors, a bit like the Leap Motion I was talking about here earlier. Um, And Microsoft do keep changing their own brief,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
can't really be helpful. They don't seem to stick to any roadmap that would be a recognizable roadmap to most people. Anyway, Old Space VR is not really. It's the development team is also working under Microsoft aegis for the summer of since the summer of 2017. But generally speaking, you don't. Well, yeah, I don't. I follow these things, so I do get. Old Space VR. I subscribe to their calendar, so I get all this stuff, as well as their endless posts in social media. Um, but you don't hear much reference to Alt Space VR outside of the sort of specialist sphere. But more to the point, I very rarely notice. I had to double check myself a minute ago when I said to you, this is the one that's owned by Microsoft, isn't it? It's not like it's advertised as Microsoft Altspace or
Right.
Microsoft.
Right.
You don't think of it as a Microsoft product unless you know this. So yeah, curious.
Yeah, and the style of avatars are very much something. It looks like they're designed for, the Oculus Quest. I mean, the low poly
Yeah,
count, fast transmitting, and Windows mixed reality is still run on a beefy computer setup. So
yeah,
I don't. I'm kind of a little confused about the strategy.
yeah. Um, I think Altspace VR you can get on the Oculus Go. So the fact that it is, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can get it
Yeah,
on the
I could do it on
Oculus
the
Go.
Quest as
So
well. Yep.
so the fact that it is slightly lower res and more primitive than the other ones, warrants it. But they're not manufacturing Go anymore, so it's really a matter of go up to Quest or do without. In some ways. So yeah, I don't know anyway.
Right.
But the big news: Old Space VR, Social World has new avatars, and it also has an avatar fashion show. Though you it will. I don't recommend you go to that. It would mean you won't be around for the end of our program. It, this is now 2 minutes. It started 2 minutes ago. Oh dear, what can I say? Right. Okay, now talking of festivals and stuff, virtual meets in Mozilla Hubs, social VR chat room for every headset and every browser. Andy Fidel is writing here. It's a post at Medium. Again, this is old. I don't know where. I think Medium keeps
February. Yeah.
sending me old links, but useful links. In the kind of here's some links for you business. But anyway, still well worth a read um, at medium.com. Whether you can find them, that's another matter because most of their stuff's behind their firewall. This one obviously isn't. So basically, a bit of PR for Mozilla Hubs there. And Summer Festival 2020, this is another one of our favourite worlds, one that actually supports my avatar, la la la. Summer Festival 2020, this is at Science Base. And uh, listing here, so it's already started. No, yeah, it starts tomorrow. So Monday 20th, Tuesday, um, Wednesday. These are basically events, be it lectures or technical office hours or dances, community hours, barbecues, Echo Beach, Blues on the Beach. That sounds like my thing. Oh, damn, it's a Friday. There's too many events to go to all this, but they do at least have a decent calendar. I'm pretty sure that these are listed on their Google Calendar too, which of course you can add to your own calendar rather than. There's nothing worse than that's the other thing about Altspace VR. To check its events, you have to go to their events page. You can't link it into your calendar system. They force you to go to their web page. I thought, so much for getting alerts about their events. It's not going to happen unless it can slot into Google Calendar. Anyway, so this is a blog.sign.space. That's BLOG. Gosh golly dot SINE dot SPAC dot. And yeah, it's not the front page, but you'll find the link on the front page easily enough. Right. And July 12th, we must have done that. Vibella Gross. Ah, okay. Well, we're done for that one too. And I don't really have much lined up in the way of pictures this week. So that is more or less it, I think.
Oh,
As I
okay.
say, there are other links in the stream. But I would say voicesofvr.com, always worth a look. I think there've been three episodes this week. These are the kind of links I haven't actually loaded anymore because all I'm saying is to go to Voices of VR, give me the title of the podcast. But they always have good audio interviews and things like that. Um, there's another one here that I didn't load mostly because I wasn't sure. This is a site called noprosecium.com. I'm getting a lot of stuff from them. There you are. You can actually see how it's spelt there at the top. Um, noproscenium.com. And they have some particular things. I have no idea what that title is all about. I think they've got a Discord channel too. But this particular post, for example, is everything immersive this week. And that was yesterday's post. So whether it's I forget whether it's telling us about what's coming up or has passed, but it's not exactly a gigantic list. They do various podcasts too, so you get some information about that. But yeah, if you're looking for events and things happening, it's probably worth looking them up. They're not actually a platform, so but I think they do have favorite platforms, if you see what I mean, for that they sort of probably get paid to promote. Right, okay, yeah, so that was a good one. Oops, there they go. Yeah, even now, look at this, folks. You've got my desktop proper. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Lots of icons.
Yes, it's via my browser home screen. Um, yeah, and so here's another one at Forbes. The Week in XR roundup. Sony ramping up VR headset production, and oh, this is interesting. It's interesting in that I can't really tell you much about it. In fact, one of the well-known people, social network bloggers, Post News, actually posted a Twitter earlier today saying, "Can anybody know how I can find and get in touch with these Geo Glass people?" All we saw was a picture of yeah, there it is, more or less. Uh, don't know whether my little Zoomy toy is going to work on it. Come on, Zoomy toy. Okay,
Is
my
that an
Zoomy toy.
iPhone?
That is what looks like an iPhone,
Well, I
yes,
don't see the circle though, but hard to
and
tell.
that is the headset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's rather dark as you can see, and my Zoomy toy is not working on it. Go naughty Zoomy toy, not working. Um,
Style sheets. It's all style sheets.
yes, exactly. Um, that's other stuff. Yeah, they're covering a lot of stuff here. Um, yeah, this is another one that they have at Forbes, which is Charlie Fink looks back on the week, so it's a good place to go to catch up stuff at www.forbes.com. And Ordinary News, things like Linden Lab being acquired and stuff we covered last week. Geo Tesseract, welcome to Voodoo. I don't know what Voodoo is. Okay, but yeah, basically that's a roundup post that you can go to if you want. Oh God, I've done it again, haven't I? Clean your VR headsets. We covered that. Yeah, yeah. I think we covered everything mostly important. And as I say, you can hop along to twitter.com/malbones if you need something more. And I should just make sure I got. Oh no, we don't want
I just about fell out of my chair.
that. I'll just stick with that.
Where
Yeah,
where are you
I
going,
just
Mal? What are you doing?
I just thought I'd get it right, but I finished with the link. So rather than
Uh,
subject everybody to my boring desktop and getting there being nosy, I thought, right, well, I need a picture to sort of talk us out with.
okay.
Actually, this one I found somewhere. This is
Oh.
the Rapids water park somewhere in America, I think.
Okay.
Um, Taken from the air, and the reason I've actually copied this into my picture, downloaded it, is I'm going to actually go to the audio version of High Fidelity and use that as a map for one of my meeting points because I figure I could make a game out of it. If this is a big enough area blown up and you've got got the little avatars and their photographs scattered around here, you know, if it's big enough,
Yeah, yeah, I see
it
what
could
you're
be a
saying.
task to walk and find somebody, if you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody's used the audio version of High Fidelity will know exactly what I mean. Anybody who's not probably doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, that's what that picture is. It's not. It's just a picture from a picture blog somewhere, but it's perfectly it's perfectly vertical. It's the ideal picture for me to use in high fidelity. Anyway, that's about that. And yeah, everything else is by and large it's just pussycats.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so I'll turn away now and look at the screen proper. James, your thoughts on all that loss? If
Well,
you've
did you notice my shirt today in
yes,
Sansar?
it's nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pussycat. That's pussycats too, isn't
It
it? Rather.
does. Yeah.
No, actually,
Nice
I
little
don't
black and
lie.
white pretty cat.
I had noticed the shirt, but I noticed it in terms of an overall texture. I guess I hadn't had time to actually zoom in, and I'm not really particularly zoomed in, if you see what I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
to actually go in and study it carefully. But that is nice, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The only
It's
thing missing is ginger puddies.
right. It was the only shirt I could find to fit, interestingly,
Oh, really?
before the
Really?
show. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
But
no, that's nice, nice. Always like the feline touch.
that's right.
Did you track down the I think I saw in the marketplace somewhere a cap, which was rather like the cap
Oh, I
you
didn't. I did not do that. I was looking at the desks today, and
yeah. There's so much there actually. I mean, I guess it's legacy from when Linda and
yeah,
Naomi and
there's
a
a
lot of the
dragster
people
shirt
and
I
stuff.
came across when I was shopping for
Yeah,
shirts.
yeah. Um, some of the stuff doesn't really fit that well. I mean,
No, it doesn't. I'm just learning
getting
that
this
myself.
just getting his costume sorted out has taken me a while. I mean,
Yeah.
it will do. It's not perfect. I mean, I've got a different face and different. It's actually black hair, but because it's a light sort of fluff on the chin, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Um, and I've got the glasses on. The hat, which we know from last week was a bit awkward, actually fits nicely on this avatar without any hair popping out the back. And
Mhm.
but it's actually quite work, and sort of it's very easy for people. I know a lot of people from Second Life onwards who go in for conferences or events and things, but they're not what you call an actual user.
Mhm.
They know how to log in and get to somewhere, and but they'll turn up at a conference and they'll get the default businessman look or something. They
Right.
don't
Right.
ever really get around to customizing their avatar and whatever. And it's funny, I think it's important thing, than for the workplace. I mean, gone are the days of the 1950s where every single person in the office had the same grey suit and bowler hat. It's people do style themselves even if they work somewhere where it's conventional that you have to wear a suit and tie and stuff. People do little things to style themselves. I think so that and I think it helps. So people recognise you
Mhm.
when you're walking around the office. They know your face, even if the uniform you're wearing is the same as everybody else. So, having that as some degree of personalization, I think, is actually really quite important. Otherwise, you're just I forget where it was recently. Oh well, no, it would have been Vibella actually. As I said, very simple, straightforward, and easy to use. But I mean, there's a choice of about six avatars, and there's absolutely no difference between them, no customization. So you look like the guy next to you,
Mhm.
except he's got a different color shirt on or something. And they do have name tags, which of course helps because those differ from person to person. But uh, anyway, yeah. So anything else that struck you in that?
When we were talking about the performance venues, VARC, and the UP that I think you were talking about, it
Yeah.
reminded me of something that I think is in the Oculus store, and it's a an app called the Under Presents, and I feel like it came up in one of our
Oh,
programs. But
yeah,
it's a fascinating concept because participants sign up and do performances in VR that people can attend, but
right.
they're dramatic performances. So right now they're doing The Tempest, and so
Yeah,
it's really an interesting concept.
yeah, we did mention that.
Yeah.
It's a very specific thing.
Mhm.
Theatre been down. Um, Also, yeah, it's one of those events where I think the tickets are actually probably the equivalent of what you pay to go to the real world theatre, um, if I recall.
And
No, I remember covering it. I mean, it looked really interesting. It's like basically bringing theatre into the immersive space.
right.
And if this is going to replace the real world, then I think we're going to see more and more things that really cost quite serious amounts of money to go to.
Mhm.
Because the cost of putting them on virtually is probably approaching what it costs to put them on in real theatres. Obviously, you don't have to worry about the venue, but you still got to pay people to build the stage virtually and choreographers and all I don't know, for as many things that don't need doing, there are other things that there's still things that do, and of course, there's specialist jobs in the virtual environment. We know from Second Life
Mhm.
that don't exist in the real world. So although you might not have to worry about transport in a virtual world or accommodation at an event, the organisers do have to take into other accounts, like, who goes to a real world theatre where there's somebody running around flapping about bandwidth. You know,
Mhm.
it's not an issue,
Right.
but it is when you're online. So there are disciplines and things people have to do to sort these events out, some of which are done in real life, some of which are unique to virtual. But
Mhm.
just as other real life jobs are obsolete, so changing time. It's a bit like industrial revolution, isn't it?
They
So
did. Yeah.
whole load of new jobs appeared, even though some of the old jobs just disappeared.
Mhm.
So
Indeed.
yeah. Um, yeah, how did it? Oh, yes, yes, of course, the Tempest thing. Yeah, no, so that's yeah, that actually looked very interesting, not just the fact it was happening, but the pictures of it looked very good too. So,
Yeah.
not that I was going to go to it, but
Yeah, and that the
yeah,
the performance is not scripted, non-player characters, but they're actors.
yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing I always said. It's not strictly true, but I always said that was really what put things like Second Life Machinima apart from the more generic Machinima, where
Yeah.
you have software, you offline, you model the characters, you build them, you use the software to make. It's not advanced enough to call CGI, but it's actually machine cinema, which is where Machinima comes from.
Yep.
In the virtual worlds you and I use, OpenSim, Second Life, and stuff, it's every avatar is inhabited by a real person, and if you're going to do something like that, then it requires an actor, to do it. I mean, I have seen some where one actor will actually be moving the avatar, and another voice actor will be voicing it,
Mhm.
because to find a good voice actor to play a part, as in the traditional actor, who is also capable of moving their virtual body at the same time, that's a hard call for somebody who's new to it.
Yep.
You can be a best actor in the world, but you know how to stride around on stage and look menacing.
Yeah, but what's
You
this
know,
joystick thing?
but
What are you
but
talking about?
but the arrow keys and the facial expressions in a virtual world, don't always, how do you put on that frown?
Right, right.
It's I've got a HUD, so not in this world, but in Second Life where I can change my expression. So if want to look angry, I can look angry,
Right.
But that also it's hard work to do that. It's okay setting it up, and maybe if you're talking to somebody, toggling the anger and the smile back and forth just to give it a look, just as you animate your mouth when you're speaking and stuff like that. But to do it from a theatrical point of view, where you're in total control of all these facets, well, virtually it can't be done. I suspect one day that these headsets And the haptic devices will help us because we'll be able to flap our arms and move our lips, and we'll be able to do stuff in a 3D space that is translated, even if it's on a 2D screen, that is actually closer to acting. Um, if you're in a headset, for example, and I'm looking at you on a 2D screen, your movements and stuff like that are much more realistic than what I can come up with when I'm relying on animations and arrow keys.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, you would actually need some kind of haptic system that could understand everything. It would, you know, it would need to be able to understand the tone of your voice and alter your facial expression accordingly. It'd be a kind of AI job, really. If I'm going to play somebody, if I'm saying something and I'm smiling and chatting with somebody, and they something do say something to me that upsets me, then I'm going to reply, but I'm going to become more stern and maybe more angry, and it will look very silly if that response comes with the same facial expression of me grinning. It just won't work.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's so many, all these subtle things. Now, you don't query that on space because it's our real tactical facets, our real senses. And, actors are basically inhabiting a fictional character, and that's what, makes a good actor from the bad actor, whether they can actually inhabit a fiction or a historical character for that matter and convince you they are that character by adapting their expressions and senses and everything else. A bad actor will try and do that, but won't succeed at all. You'll think, "Oh, that's my mate John trying to be Henry V." you know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to suspend disbelief. So the great actor will make you think it's Henry V, not your mate John. And it's a challenge to move all that stuff into virtual space, because of you may think theatre is simple, it's just a stage with actors on it, but it's far more than that. And it's more complex even than a movie because you can shoot a scene again on a movie, but when you're on stage, it's the one and only chance. If you goof, you goof. So
Yep.
yeah, but it actually brings to mind the Open Community Conference, where a couple of years is it Avatar Rep or
Yeah.
there are actually
Yeah.
quite a lot of
Exactly. All right.
yeah, there's quite a lot of virtual acting companies in Second Life, some of which are in OpenSim too, and they put on they put on things. But I always laugh when I see the films that lying around because they're all one of them they're all wearing. They're not showing their name tags, but they're all wearing an artificial name tag that shows the character they are. And I started looking at this and thought, oh yeah, where on stage have I ever been to the theatre where somebody's got a sign over their hat telling me who they are? If it's theatre, I shouldn't need to be told. It should be inherent in the actor and the performance as to what I'm watching. But you got to start somewhere, haven't you?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So, well, I can't think of any other stuff or any really pending events coming up. I would
Nope.
just actually give a quick. I should give a quick toggle here. Oh, I would remind you, at 6 o'clock my time, that would be in Second Life. That would be at 10 in the morning in Second Life Pacific time. Um, Pathfinder Lester is now doing regular office hours again. Basically, you can't talk with him anymore. He takes text questions, but basically he just raps to everybody for about an hour about what's happening and stuff like that. Quite interesting, although it does get repetitive week after week. But that's on Wednesdays in Second Life. It used to be on the oh god, the Science Island, but he's moved. You'd actually have to look it up in World. It's moved location now to a well-known location anyway. Um, let's see. Yeah, everything else. There's the End Game show. God, which world is that in? I've forgotten now. That looks like it's scheduled to start at 7 o'clock British time. So that would be 11 a.m. Um, I forget which world that's in now. It's been a while. They haven't been doing ones for a while. I can't remember. I have to. Sorry, I'm glancing at my diary, and all I've got is the events, not the
Mm.
locations or anything else like that. But yeah, 9 o'clock in the evening on Saturdays, there is a sort of community meeting in Tivoli, which is called Tivoli Tea Time. That's at 9 p.m. Britain, so that's 9 p.m. Britain on Saturday, which would be 1 in the afternoon Pacific. And an hour earlier, um, there's a community meeting in Vircadia. So that was at midday or midday Pacific time. And oddly enough, there's still a sparsely a sparse meeting in the original Visual High Fidelity platform an hour before that. So if you want to start in the old High Fidelity, jump to Vicadia, then jump into Tifoli. You've got so three versions of the same platform,
Oh,
each with a community meeting,
all right.
an hour apart from each other, which is sensible. Um, yeah, but that seems to be it on my diary. Okay, tomorrow I've got down something here. Let me click on it, see if it loads my diary. Oh yeah, no calendar. Come on, show my calendar, please. No use telling me it's in my calendar. Um, oh, it didn't load, did it? God, these things don't always. It's called the XR Access Symposium, and Monday it's at 4 o'clock my time tomorrow through into Tuesday. So I guess it's all day tomorrow. Um, hmm. Unfortunately, my diary hasn't kept much about it. Let me go to farthest link. Uh, oh, there we are. This is not. Sorry, this is not helpful. It's in my diary, but I don't know the location for it. So there we go again. I'll probably turn up when I need it. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it for now. That's it for now. We'll be here all day if I keep inventing things, remembering things to talk about. Um, right. Well, I think we'll call it a night, or a day, or a evening, or tomorrow, or
A
yesterday,
time.
depending on when and where you're watching it, as we
Right.
used to say. Um, yeah. So we will return same time, same place next week, and meanwhile, it's goodbye from this bloke here.
And goodbye from this bloke there.
Very good. From the two of us, Mal and James, that is. We wish you a happy and safe week. And until then, let's see. Toodaloo. Uh, it's a new one. Toodaloo.
Bye.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I forget. We got. Ah, yeah. Hang on, hang on. I will. Oops, I need to turn around, don't I?
Oh, now where are you going?
Yeah, oh, no. This is. Okay, I know how to wave, but that's about it. I've got to get into a position where I can wave.
Where did
Well,
you go?
it's number 10, I think, isn't it? Oh
Where
God, I
did you
don't know
go?
anymore. I have absolutely no idea. I've just fallen off the stage. That's
All
all.
right. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
There you
I'm
are.
up here. So I just need to turn around a bit like that. Oh God.
Just wave.
Never mind. Never mind.
I've moved the camera. You can.
Okay, so now what do I do? I wave, yeah, don't I? What
Yep.
do I do? It's number 9, isn't it? No, it's not. Oh no, clapping, even better. Clapping at myself.
All right.
Oh, hang on. 9. Huh. 8. Hang on. 1. Oh, it's number 1. Right. Okay. There we are. Goodbye, everybody. See you next week. Or as I typical English phrase, toodaloo.
Toodles.
And we're out of here.